Shitanshu, and this is our team, Marisa, Joy, and Mary. And this semester we work on with CSEG, which is an engineering consulting service company which works for top tier OEMs like Toyota, GE, Ford. And what they have done is they have developed this new vehicle level model, one-dimensional, that can be used to predict the fuel efficiency and emissions for any tier 1 component, which virtually works for any OEM. Exactly. So initially we were like, okay, we don't get it, but that's fine, right? We have worked this last semester. We take the current UI, we apply the UX principle, and we provide the enhanced design to them. How does the current UI looks like? They don't really have a UI. All they have is this mathematical model which takes the input, gives you the output, and they want us to design a UI from scratch. The point to note here is that it's not a website or an app that we are aware of or even we know about, where the user comes and consumes the data. This is essentially a software simulation tool that the automotive engineers will be working on, like approximately 8 hours a day, and we don't really know much about them. So this is how we started. We have to go out and explore the world. We met research engineers from Ford, development engineers from ALA. We met a lot of simulation engineers and even some managers. We interviewed them, and instead of doing a regular question answer round, what we did was a contextual inquiry for 2-3 hours, where we asked them to do their routine tasks that they do on their routine software modules. We had tried to understand their pain points, where they struggle with the UI, and what we concluded was, on a very broad basis, engineers generally find that the information and the functionality has been spread out among too many screens. They're just multiple screens, and they keep switching between them while they perform the task. And managers are more focused on the graphs because they have to present these graphs to the higher management. They want to highlight, edit, stuff like that. We also conducted comparative analysis. Like, we tried to understand how the other automated tools look like. They look like they have been trapped in the 80s or 90s. There's just too much information, too much visual clutter, and information architecture is really bad. So that's how we concluded that information architecture and data visualization is the crux of the problem. We divided the team in 2 parts. We did background research, we did a lot of design, we did further user interviews, and after a lot of brainstorming and a few iterations of design, this is what we came up with. This is a single screen workspace. So what happens here is there's this input screen where the engineers enter the inputs, they run the system, they can visualize the system, and then they can see the output right there. So this basically saves them from switching between the screens and give them a very, very efficient workspace. Now the point is, this whole UI has been designed from scratch without any motivation from any other screen. So every inch of this screen has been debated and iterated and brainstormed upon. We can't really focus on everything, so we'll try to cover up the major points. One thing was that all these automation tools, they have this top menu. They have like multiple bars of menus. They have a lot of small icons. These engineers, they don't even use them. Like, they have been working for 8 years. They don't even know what these buttons mean. So what we did was we took these menu items under a single hamburger menu and kept the functionality which was critical on the side menu and the lower menu based on the criticality of the function. Then there was this other point that we noticed that it's not really visible here, but when the engineers, when they are looking at the output graph, they are not looking at the holistic graph. They are looking for this specific portion that they are working on. So they keep opening the graphs in new screen and zoom in. So what we have done is just put the mouse here on the graph, and we provide the zoomed in values and the functionality right there on the output graph. There was another thing that we saw was that when the simulation engineers, when they perform their task, they run multiple trials of it, and they want to see if this trial was better than the last one or not. So what we have done is, instead of asking them to go ahead and export their graphs into Excel sheet, they can compare multiple trials right there, choose the trials, choose the graphs, and compare them right there. For managers, we have provided functionality for editing the graph. They can highlight the colors. There are multiple colors. There are a lot of editing stuff that they generally do in Excel sheet, but here they can do right in the tool itself. Then there is a dedicated workspace for report, which has all the graphs listed, the outputs. They are very well designed. Information architecture is like the critical ones are on the left pane, the one which are deep dive in the right pane. They can select the subsystem they want to work on. Those ones are displayed there. Again, these graphs are editable. There's a lot of functionality here. Then what we have done is we conducted some usability tests, and we got great feedback. We already delivered version 1 to them, and we are working on version 2. We have some great ideas for storyboard and multiple color themes. And we are planning to work with the CSEG UI Team, and most probably work with the implementation. Hope to see the UI in production soon.
Sorry.
Yeah, good.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Now we'll go ahead and see if our judges have any questions for CSEG.
I'm very impressed. Very impressed. So how, I have two questions. One is, would the managers have a different layout than the engineers?
No. So what you see here is like two screens, workspace and report. So workspace is for, so managers, these managers are not essentially managers. They are also engineers, but they have to deal with the management part of it. So what we have done is instead of, we have divided the whole space in two parts, the report part and the workspace. Workspace is where you can see the output, but you can there is a report part where you can just see all the reports, not only of the subsystem that they are working on, but of the complete compiled reports that they can present to the higher management.
So my second question is, can you briefly talk about your feedback for this first person?
Oh yeah, so the feedback has been tremendous. Like, this is not something that happened in, so we couldn't show you all the iterations of the brainstorming, and there were just too many screens. We got feedback continuously. Like when we designed initially how we started, we did not use the system visualization. Initially we thought input and output is all that matter, but then engineers gave us feedback that they need to see how the system reports. Also there are things that the system itself, when you show the system, it's navigatable. Like you can actually go to the system and click on the parts that you are working, so it's visually also appealing. It was based on feedback that we included the comparison part, and where the engineers can compare the output, this one. So what we saw was the engineers are not really aware. So what has happened is they have adapted to this UI. They have made it a habit. They are fine with going to 10 different screens and doing their work. They export these graphs into Excel sheet and then they do their work. They design in MATLAB and then bring it here. They expect these UI to be really inefficient and bad. So the feedback was tremendous based on what we did.
Well, our judges are asking questions with Smart Pill. Please come to the front of the room. Judges, other questions?
Can you do this for our EHR?
Oh yeah. 2 months.
Because the analogies are huge.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
I guess what's unclear to me, did you get a chance to get feedback also from the managers or people higher up on the management chain?
So what we are doing right now is we are going to sit with CSEG and try to deliver the version 2, where we have an idea of storyboard, where the managers can not only view the graphs, they can actually export the graphs into a presentation and create a story. We are planning to do that version 2 by this next week, and then take it for further feedback from managers.
Thank you.
Andrea stole my thunder a little bit, but I do want to ask, where do you see the possibilities for this beyond just Ford? Or even automotive in general?
Oh yeah, see, frankly speaking, when we started, as I showed you, we were flabbergasted. We had no clue, and what we saw finally is again something that we never expected we would be able to do that good. But yeah, we can certainly, once we are done with CSEG, we can, at least personally we have discussed it, that we would like to explore this and see how can we take these solutions into our other places. There's a lot of data relation, information architecture. We have personally learned a lot, and hopefully we can use this in our website and everything.